it happens right now. My oldest kid is 5 years old, and he is in that stage where he doesn't want to, you know, take pictures and appear in the picture, and he doesn't smiles enough, and like, come on, smile. But you don't have to force them, you know. If he doesn't want to smile, if he doesn't want to appear in the photo, it's okay. We have to respect when our kids say no.
100%.
Sonoro.
More than mamis.
Hola amigos, welcome to a new episode of More Than Mamis.
Untold Stories. I'm Anto.
I'm Michi, and today we're talking about the case of Ruby Franke.
The dark secret behind the screen. Who is Ruby Franke? The parenting influencer jailed for child abuse? Yes. In a shocking turn of events, the famous American YouTuber Ruby Franke, known for her motherhood advice channel A Passengers, has been sentenced to 4 consecutive prison terms for the child abuse of her own minor children.
Well, the news was shocking to her followers and to the public, revealing the dark side behind the screen. According to the CBS News reports, children were subjected to horrific abuses, including tying, beating, kicking, along with neglecting in their feeding and exploitation. This is really hard because, you know, on YouTube you will see this perfect family. Oh my God, she has 6 children. She will even give parenting advice, and you don't know what was happening behind the screen. But there were also hints that you could see in the videos of her being weird with
red
her
flags.
children. Very
Talking
a
about red
lot
flags.
of red flags.
You know, like talking about red flags that we talked like in our first episode about gypsy, and how like we as mom have to, you know, like evaluate and be careful about our environment. It's difficult to talk about this case because we both are influencers, we both are content creators, and we show our kids and our families frequently, and it's hard to see how in front of us there's a case, you know, like as an influencer who she wasn't like what she was, you know, on a screen.
Yes, I was looking at some of her old videos, and I think there was some things that were off. Like, she will threaten her children like, oh, if you don't do your chores, you wouldn't have dinner. Things like that. You don't negotiate food with your kids, you know. Like, I tell my kids, please eat
all the time.
Like, I don't see how she can do that. Or horrific things, like she will like do these things that if they will misbehave, she will put them to sleep in the bathroom. If they will be sick, they'll be like, okay, you're feeling bad, you have diarrhea, you're throwing up, okay, then just put a pillow in next to the toilet so you throw up easier. Like, I'm like, what is wrong with this woman, and what is wrong with the people who follows her, because she had millions of followers.
That's the worst, you know, like case. Like, it's not like about her, it's about the people who were following her and loving her content, you know, because I know that some of the neighbors and the people who was watching the video, they called the police, they called the social services, and the social services came to her home once, and they didn't notice anything wrong. It's hard for me to believe how this social worker system works, because we were talking about last episode about the social workers with Gypsy Rose didn't notice anything, and how you cannot notice. So there's 6 children that are being treated like basically animals. They wouldn't even have water sometimes. She will like beat them up, she will kick them using boots. And also she had, you know, her partner, which was like her business partner in the YouTube channel, that she say that it was her fault because she will encourage this behavior. What do you think about that? Nah, I think like they are all like both like
they're sick
guilty,
in their mind.
Yes, sick, and they, you know, they found each other in their craziness, and they put the show together, so they are both guilty. But like she has 6 kids. The oldest is 20 and the youngest is 9. For me, like, it's impossible to believe, like, for so many years, because the oldest is 20 years. So,
Yes.
you know, like 20 years of, like, child abuse. Her family now is, like, talking about, like, they were afraid to talk about it just for the kids. Like, they didn't want to separate the family, but
Yeah, but
this is not an excuse to talk about what it was
No.
happening inside her home.
Thank God her 12-year-old one, he escaped, and he ran into one of the neighbors' house, and he had signs of violence. He had, like, even duct tape, and he was days without eating. So thank God the neighbors saw him, and he was able to escape, because it was something that if that didn't happen, it could be years and years. And it's hard also for me to understand the family situation, because the dad doesn't notice this, like, they don't have any family around. It is very hard for me to understand. Also, teachers, like, they wouldn't see, like, their kids are, like, have bruises and stuff, because I was telling you the other day that in our daycare where we have our children, the teacher sometimes asks me, like, look, what happened in the house? I'm like, I didn't do anything. They're just savage kids. They beat them up each other. But it's good. Like, I understand, and I'm actually grateful.
They have the obligation.
Yes.
They must ask you, like, what is happening, why, he has, like, a bruise or something, and it's okay, because sometimes you have to ask, you don't know what is happening in your house. But, like, for me, this little kid for like 12 years old kid was so brave to escape.
I know. Like, I just imagine the courage that you be like, okay, I'm gonna escape here, and I'm gonna save not just myself, I'm gonna save my family.
Yes.
So my siblings. And it is weird also, because there's some religious background in here that it was like I was looking at more about her philosophy, about her motherhood method. And it was something like, kids right now, they take everything for granted. They're not grateful enough. And she would be like, there was this clip to one of the younger girls, and she would say, like, okay, we're going to the movies. And the girl was like, okay. And she's like, no, you're supposed to be excited. We're going to the movies. And like, now you're not going because you're being disgraceful.
Wow.
And it's like, okay, they're just kids. And there's a viral video that I didn't know it was her, that my husband was showing me, that is this girl saying, like, I'm just a baby. It went viral, and it was one of her kids, because she was like, she wanted to, like, record her in whatever situation, and the girl didn't want. The girl say, like, no, I'm just a baby.
Oh, wow.
But no one knew that.
Well, she was shooting a video for the YouTube channel, and she didn't want to.
Exactly.
Like, her daughter didn't want to appear on the video.
Exactly. And that's something also that I have think, because right now, I don't think we overexpose our kids. We share, like, some family moments, but our content is not based in our kids.
Yes.
But if there's a moment that my kids say, I don't want to be on camera anymore, I will respect it.
For sure. Like, it happens right now. My oldest kid is 5 years old, and he is in that stage where he doesn't want to, take pictures and appear on the picture, and he doesn't smile enough, and like, come on, smile. But you don't have to force them,
No.
If he doesn't want to smile, if he doesn't want to appear in the photo, it's okay. So right now it's like, okay, you don't want to appear, okay, just go. And so, and when you say no, like, it's okay, don't appear, he just, like,
okay,
he tries to be right next to the photo. So I think, like, we have to respect, like, as the content that we made, like, 1 week ago for the women empowerment and everything, like, it's like we have to respect when our kids say no.
100%.
Because
it's a form of abuse.
Yes. When we don't respect, like, their no, like, we are abusing our children.
There's also a new law that is coming to Florida. I don't know if it has been approved yet, but it basically says that children under 16 are not allowed to be on social media. They're not allowed to have, like, their own accounts, which, like, I'm not against.
I know, but
Yeah.
it's impossible to control it because, like, for TikTok, I have like some of my friends who their kids, they have TikTok, and you can lie if you put the
they will consume it, but they
the
will,
grown birthday date, and you lie and you
Exactly,
upload
you
the
just lie.
content, and
that it's hard to control
because in TikTok you can create a TikTok account if you are 13 or older, and you see a lot of people like under 13 that have an account.
All the Sephora kids now, all these girls that do skincare routines, and they're like 5 years old using retinol. Anyway, it's crazy. And with this case about Ruby Franke, I think we just need to be very mindful of who we give a voice.
Yes.
To me, it's very delicate to choose who you follow, and also who you follow advice, because I can like a content, but the thing is that people will follow because she was like, I don't know what title she had about parenting, that people will follow her advice. So it's very delicate, because you see right now on Instagram, on TikTok, all these parenting advisors, gentle parenting, crianza respetuosa in Spanish, and there's never like a right answer, and you also need to be very careful with who you follow. If is this a psychologist, if this a child psychologist, is this person from what fount is she getting this information from?
Yes, it's true. Like right now we have a lot of information about our children, and we know, like, that's the reason why our podcast, we have talked about our podcast in Spanish called More Than Mamis, when we talk about our experience as a mom. But we don't want to, like, give you an advice about how to be a mom, about how to raise your children. It's, like, about our experience being a mom and how, like, what it works for us as a mom.
Exactly.
Like, and you can follow it, or you cannot.
And if you see something that is weird, tell us. Because
we are normal people.
Exactly. We can make mistakes. And right now, I'm very grateful that the system work. This happened in Utah, and this just happened recently. And they're convicted to 30 years in prison.
Her son escaped on August 2023, so almost a year ago. And she was sentenced this February 2024 for 30 years of prison.
Child abuse, a second-degree felony. Guilty. To count 3, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony. Guilty.
Like, it's crazy. Like, the bad situation about all of this is what is going to happen with her kids.
I know. Who's gonna, I guess the dad.
The dad, he's like asking for he were asking for the custody, but the situation is that he wasn't living with her inside her home. Like, she threw him away 1 year ago, like before August 2023.
Okay, so they were separated
but
already.
they were still married legally.
Ooh.
So there's
well, he asked for divorce, I think.
Yes, he asked for divorce, but she didn't sign the divorce. So in that case, when you are together as a team, like, they cannot give you the custody because you are still with her.
I know.
Legally. So
it's weird. Also for the kids, the 20-year-old is an adult now, and I was looking at his social media, and I was here one of the sisters who actually posted, like, finally when the police took his mom, and it's hard to think about them, like maybe what people think of them.
I have the
school.
quote here. She said, an Instagram story.
Okay.
Me and my family are so glad justice is being served. We've been trying to tell the police and CPS for years about this, and I'm so glad they finally decided to step up. The kids are safe, but there's a long road ahead.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Well, and that was one of the
oldest daughter.
The oldest
Sherry.
daughter. Wow. It gives me chills because, I don't know, it's hard to believe that you can harm your kids, And there was this video of her asking for, like, apologizing before getting her sentence to the kids. And she will cry and stuff, but me thinking as a mom is like, is she really sorry, or is she she has some mental issue. But like, how can you like have, your business partner, friend, whatever, because she was like blaming her for all, because she was influenced by her. I'm like, come on, you're an adult.
Sí.
You cannot like tell like,
she were talking about manipulation. Like, I cannot manipulate you to, do bad things with me. It's impossible.
It's impossible. Like, we understand the case of Gypsy, that her, like, about the manipulation when she was a kid. But here is, come on, you're an adult. You have 6 children. It's hysterical.
Well, the YouTube channel was deleted for sure.
Of course. But
8
there's some clips.
8 passengers was called since 2015 till 2023. So almost 10 years of
when you
content.
See the one thing that I want to emphasize here is when you see a content that you don't think is right and involves children, report it. I think it's very important that maybe a lot of people will see and think like, wow, this woman is crazy. But I think it's very important, if you see something, say something, like the phrases in the airport. You need to report it. It's very powerful. When YouTube or Instagram or TikTok see that some people are reporting a content, they will look into it. But not just one person, So I think it's important to do that.
Yes.
And also, if it's in your area or something, you can also, if it's something really disturbing, you can also contact police about it, because police now works over virtual crimes too. So I mean, it was virtual and real life situation.
Yes, this was a real life situation.
So
but
it's important.
Yes,
to report things.
Like, what caught my attention here is, like, as you said, like, the teachers, the neighbors, their family, the husband,
friends,
the husband's family, the grandparents, the friends, like, so many people.
And also the family
15, 20 years.
The woman of the other woman didn't, I don't know.
There's so many people around, and how, like, they prove, like, she was abusing her children just because the 12 years old escaped.
I know.
Like, just because of that. Not
It's
because
sad.
someone raised her voice.
It's sad. I think people were just thinking that, well, it's their family, we cannot do anything. And a lot of things right now on social media about you have to be gentle with your kids. But I think some people like it because they're like, I was raised with, like, different. My mom will beat me up and I'm normal. Yes, you're super normal, because that's why you need so much therapy. That's why you're, like, have anxiety all the time, right? You're super normal. So I think that was, like, probably older people were the ones watching that, and they will think, oh, yes, because right now everyone calls us la generación de cristal,
Yes.
that we are fragile. And I think it's important to be fragile, because I think we are the generation who's changing things, who are not, like, who's not being silent, who wants justice.
And we can show our emotions.
Yes.
Like, if you are a boy or a man, if you're a woman, you are allowed to feel.
Yes.
And sometimes I know for sure that my dad wasn't allowed to,
Yeah, that's
to
sad.
feel, to show his emotion. And right now we have to raise our kids, our boys, because both have
boys.
2 boys, to show their emotions, to feel, to cry, to feel sadness, to feel happiness, and to, and to be allowed to have the freedom.
Yes,
feel.
and
this
also
is
and also
important.
girls too, because she was being mean also to the girls. So it's important to, I don't think about.
For me, there's a balance.
It's a balance, exactly.
Being like have the, like, give them the permission to feel and to, I don't know, have tantrums sometimes, and have, like, as a mom, to understand, like, that they have to follow the rules, and there are punishment if they don't follow the rules.
Exactly, but not physical.
Not physical punishment.
And not, like, emotional, like, psychology, because there's also, like, she will use mean words to them, like, that's also a kind of violence. So I think, it's just, if it's hard. Like, my sister-in-law is taking some classes with, like, a psychologist and stuff about this, and she was telling me things that I'm like, dude, this is so hard, because a lot of times there's not a right answer. There's things like timeouts. A lot of people are agree with timeouts. A lot of people are not. So which one is the right one? You just need to kind of like flow with it and see what works for your family, but be ethical. That's what it is.
They both, Frankie and Hildebrand, like the partners in crime. They
literally.
Yes. They have both agreed to serve time in prison as a term of a plea deal. Is about 30 years. Do you think it's too much?
No.
Like 30 years in prison?
Like, look, if you are mistreating your children, you should be there forever. Like, but I'm not a judge, so I cannot judge. But to me, I don't know. But they're old, so 30 years seems fair. You know, they're
It's
like
fair.
40, so they'll be like 70.
Yes. So their kids are going to grow up without like knowing her mom. Like,
It's better.
yeah,
It's better.
right
It's
now.
better to grow without her. Seriously.
It's just crazy. But she played guilty and she
admitted. She admitted, because if you have the witness that is your own children, like, what are you gonna do? You know, they're obviously not lying.
Yes.
Anyway, this is just a call of attention. Be careful who you follow advice from, and we'll see a next story in the next episode.
Yes. Like crazy story. Gypsy Rose now.
Ruby
Franke. Yes, like my advice is just be careful, like about like what you see on TV, on social media, on YouTube channel. Don't believe in perfection. Like we both have Instagram accounts and we show what we want to show,
Yes.
but we don't show like personally. I don't show what is inside my house. You know,
Yeah, like I don't like showing my kids when my kids are crying, when my kids are feeling bad.
why like the way I raise my kids, like this is really private. So just be careful about what you see and what you like follow on Instagram.
100%. All right, well, we'll see you in the next More Than Mamis Untold Stories episode. We are on Spotify, YouTube. Give us your rating, 5 stars, please.
5 stars.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's More Than Mamis. You will see our Spanish episodes and these new capsules of true crime for moms. All right, see you next time. Bye-bye.